Alright, what's up, you guys? So yeah, I'm the club president of this club, and since I've been kind of busy and I haven't gone to the last few lectures, I mean not the lectures, the sparring. Now I am actually legally mandated to go over your shitty sparring footage and break it down. I'm kidding. I'm sure it's great. Anyways, let's take a look at it. So
Yo, we fighting in the parking lot.
all right, so we have two people, white coat. For sake of convenience, I'm gonna refer to them as white coat and black coat. And yeah, they're sparring, and right now we can see like a few issues here with both the footwork and the with both the footwork that could be improved, and kind of
Yo, we fighting in the parking lot.
the over and the stance. So this is actually not like the worst stance, but there's several issues here, especially with like the body structure and the and what you might call the form. Okay, so to give you a practical demonstration, what you see over here are essentially what we might in the club and in the common parlance call the kind of like the tennis racket stance. So what that is you kind of hold the sword in front of you, and then another thing that you see is that you're kind of leaning over a bit with that. So that is not the worst thing, but it does compromise the body structures. And what I mean when I say the body structure is that what you're trying to do is you're trying to kind of make your body and your arms support each other, so that when you do a cut, uh, it has actual power behind it. You put the whole of your body behind it with your footwork and your arms and the way you position them. So when you lean over, that kind of you're trying to make your back straight and kind of and use the footwork so that you can put the full force of your body behind it. And when you bend it, when you're trying to like do all this stuff, it compromises that. All right, back to the footage. Okay, so
Yo, we fighting in the parking lot.
yeah, this is okay. So they're circling each other, and he goes for a leg hit. Okay, so the so the thing with that is that it's not a bad leg hit, but what you want to do right now is that here's a few things he can improve. Here's what he did. Okay, here's what he did with the leg hit. He went for kind of like this and kind of dragged it like that. What you want to do is firstly the basics of throwing a cut. So no matter where you're throwing a cut, the basics are there, which is that you want to the hand should be kind of like the what you're trying to do is you're using the rotational force of the blade in order to exert force. So what you want to do is you want to hold this part, the left hand, steady, and then you use the right hand to kind of push the blade like this. And then remember, you see my hand is steady there, and that kind of holds for a cut. And remember what I said about like staying upright as you throw the cut. The reason is that when you do something like that, when you try to lean forward, it may get you a little more reach, but also it compromises your structure, so there might not be as much force behind that cut, and also it leaves your head open. If you lean down, your opponent can very easily hit your head while before he couldn't. So let's say you're doing a leg cut, right? So you hold the pommel like this, and then you push your arm out like that. So something like that. Let me show it from the other side. Yep. Hit my microphone here. And yeah, let's get on to the next exchange. So leg hit, okay. And yeah, so what they're doing is right now they're kind of going for the high guard, and he goes for a slash, and he doesn't. And here's another thing. Here's something that you want to. Here's something that is kind of he could be doing, or that is generally what you want to do when you get in the situation, which is that you can either when you hit and you don't and you don't get it, if at first you don't get the slash, you can either back off and try another approach like lunging, or like maybe going for like a low slash or a hand hit, or you can go all in, and then the worst thing you can do is kind of freeze up. You kind of like you're there and you're not sure what happens, because then the opponent will take the time to riposte. So he does it well. White coat. He hits, he misses, and then he tries to he gets the blade out of the way, and then he tries to go for a follow up and another follow up, and as you can see in the later video, that actually nets him to point. So let's get back to that one, and yeah, let's take a look. Yep, there we go. I think he called the hit on that. Oh no, and he got a bit of a hit, on his hand as well. So that's another thing. Okay, so here let's break down what's going on here. So what he's trying to do, I think, is the ox guard, or what you might call the guard of the window in Italian longsword. So it's basically a kind of a transitory guard. It's like a middle guard where it's not a high guard like the guard of the woman in Italian longsword, or you might call Wohntag in German longsword. And it's not a low guard. Okay, it's not the fool's guard in German longsword. But it's kind of like a middle guard. You cover the you can cover thrusts from here to like kind of here. And the thing about it is it's basically it's very thrust oriented. Okay, there's not much you can do to kind of parry cuts. It's an awkward position, but what you can do is you can unwind and you can kind of cover a bunch of thrusts with your cross guard from here, and you can trap your opponent's blade like this, and then lunge. It sets you up for that, but not much. But can't do much for cutting.
Yo, we fighting in the parking lot.
And the thing is, he's trying to do that, but I think it's the gloves. The gloves really are a bit of a hindrance for quite a few people, myself included, and that does limit how much you can turn your wrist. Yeah, and he goes for a thrust. He doesn't make it, and again he backs off. He doesn't freeze, and yeah, and this is another one of the things that happens. They both kind of get a double hit on each other. And this is actually the next exchange is something that I actually want you to I want you guys to kind of take away, and this is what I might call like an example of like a really good exchange, from one of the best exchanges. So basically he and what you might call like proper fencing. Okay, so white coat goes for an overhand strike, and then in response, this is kind of black coat is kind of in the what you might call the fool's guard, or the guard of the long tail in Italian longsword. I'm sorry. This is the guard long tail. It's not the fool's guard. My bad. And he deflects it, right? And then he immediately follows that up with a hit as is intended. Look. Yep. There you go. Got a hit, but he also got a bit of a like tap on the head as well. I think it's simply he kind of it was a bit slow, but otherwise yeah, the right idea. All right, let's break down the next exchange. All right, so both people swung at each other, and the form's a bit more proper. You know, he's more upright. He could again extend the arm further and do a bit of a lunge, but otherwise, yeah, like, you know, you swing at each other, one guy hits, one guy doesn't. Yep. Yeah, that's a bit of an awkward position. Not much to say there. What you can do for white coat, because here's what's happening. Like his blade is kind of trapped down there, and what you can do from there is kind of if your blade's kind of trapped down there, you can go for the kind of pommel hit, which is to say you cross let me show you my legs for a second. You cross. He's like here, and what you can do is you can kind of cross your legs like this, and then use the pommel to kind of hit him with the pommel like that. All right, back to the video. Okay, so yeah, okay, let's skip forward a bit. Yep. That already. And yeah, we're going back to the ox. I think you guys have already seen
that
this.
Means we're scoring, right?
And yep, lunge, and then he tries to follow that up, doesn't work either, and backs off, tries another strategy.
Why
Yeah.
would they celebrate the opponent scoring? Nice, nice. Sneaky warding thrust.
It's a bit of an inconclusive thing. And yeah, gets a good hit.
Damn.
Again, this is kind of what we. This is kind of a bit of poor form from both white coat and black coat. Of course, I'm backseat coaching here. I'm backseat fencing, but this is they kind of go for the kind of weak cut that again their arms, like remember what I said, arm shouldn't the left arm shouldn't really be moving as the right arm extends. They're kind of dragging it both, and that limits their range. If either one of them was using the proper cut mechanics, where he held it still and he extended it like this, he would have this range advantage and he would win the exchange. But neither of them do, and I think it's either a double or an inconclusive result. As a result.
Means we're scoring.
All right, back to the video. Double again, and yeah, I think that's the end of the exchanges that I wanted to cover. Thanks for listening.